All right, listen closely. This is not a pep talk. This is a wake-up call. You want to change your life? Then stop waiting for January 1st. Stop blaming your schedule, your boss, your past. Give me 1 week, just one, and I'll give you the blueprint to build the momentum that can literally change everything. Here are the 5 habits that high performers use, not to get ahead, but to stay ahead. Owning your morning is about taking control before the world has a chance to pull you in every direction. It's not just about waking up early, it's about waking up intentionally. The first hour of your day determines the tone for everything that follows. If you start reactive, checking notifications, answering emails, jumping into chaos, then you've already given away your power. But if you begin with purpose, with clarity, and with energy, you create momentum that compounds. Most people treat their mornings like an accident. They roll out of bed with no plan, no structure, and no control. And then they wonder why the rest of their day feels scattered and unproductive. The most effective leaders, performers, and entrepreneurs have one thing in common. Their mornings are sacred. They use that time to build their mental armor before stepping into the battlefield. The first move, get out of bed before the world wakes up. This doesn't mean 4 a.m. just to sound tough. It means before your obligations hit. That might be 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever works, but it has to be before you're needed by someone else. That time belongs to you, and you need to treat it like the highest leverage window of your day. Start by eliminating noise. No phone, no notifications. You're not checking into the world yet, you're checking in with you. Hydrate immediately. Your body hasn't had water in 6-8 hours. Next, move your body. 10 minutes of movement could be stretching, body weight exercises, a quick walk, gets your blood flowing and snaps you out of sleep inertia. This physical activation signals your mind, we're on, let's go. Then you journal, not for poetry, this is tactical. Dump your thoughts, clear your head, write 3 things you're grateful for, and map out your top 1-3 outcomes for the day. Notice I didn't say tasks, I said outcomes. Things that move your goals forward. When you identify what actually matters early in the day, everything else becomes noise. You can add a few minutes of visualization, imagining yourself executing at a high level. This wires your brain for confidence and reduces resistance later. High performers rehearse success before it happens. This isn't just mindset fluff. There's real neuroscience behind mental priming. Athletes do it, founders do it, you can too. Lastly, protect your energy. This isn't about productivity hacks. It's about stepping into the day as a leader, not a reactor. You don't get that clarity by accident. You get it by engineering your morning to serve your future, not your feeling. When you own your morning, you stop chasing the day. You lead it, you design it, you execute with clarity, focus, and power. The chaos doesn't go away, it just doesn't own you anymore. Doing the hard thing first is a discipline that separates high performers from the average. Every day, there's one task, one decision, one conversation you're avoiding. It's that thing sitting in the back of your mind, quietly draining your energy while you shuffle through easier, less important tasks just to feel busy. That task is the one that actually moves the needle. And tackling it first, before distractions, before resistance builds, is how you train yourself to execute like a pro. Most people start their day by easing into comfort. They check email, scroll through social media, clean up their desk, maybe respond to a few low-stakes messages, all in the name of getting ready. But what's really happening is avoidance. They're putting off the one thing that actually requires courage, focus, and discomfort. The irony is, the longer you wait, the harder it feels. Resistance grows. Procrastination compounds, and by the time you finally get to it, if you get to it, you're mentally spent. Now flip that. Imagine starting your day by eating the frog, the toughest, most important task before 9 a.m. That one action rewires your brain. It builds trust in yourself. It tells your subconscious, I do what matters, even when it's uncomfortable. That's confidence rooted in evidence, not motivation. And that's what top performers rely on, not feelings, but systems and habit. Doing the hard thing first isn't about being heroic, it's about being strategic. Willpower is highest in the morning. Focus is sharper. Fewer distractions are competing for your attention. Use that window to execute. Whether it's making a sales call you've been dreading, tackling a difficult piece of work, or initiating a tough conversation, lean into it early. You don't need to finish everything, you just need to start. Momentum does the rest. This habit also kills perfectionism. When you wait, you give your mind space to overthink, to catastrophize, to obsess over every detail. But when you attack the hard task first, you shortcut the mental spiral. Action beats anxiety every time. The fastest way to kill fear is to step into it, not plan around it. Start each day by identifying your one most critical, most uncomfortable task, the one that would make the biggest difference if completed. Don't bury it, don't negotiate with yourself, put it front and center, block time for it, and eliminate anything that might interrupt. This is not the time for multitasking or half effort. It's deep, focused, deliberate execution. Once you lock this in as a habit, everything changes. You stop being a firefighter, you stop reacting. You become the person who gets things done when it counts, not when it's convenient. That reputation starts internally, it's built privately and reflected publicly. The world sees the results, but the real work happens in that first decision of the day. The choice to do what's hard instead of what's easy, the choice to lean in instead of pulling back. The choice to lead your day, not escape. Auditing your circle is one of the most powerful, underused tools for personal transformation. Who you spend time with shapes your mindset, your habits, your standards, and ultimately your results. It's not cliche, it's math. The people closest to you either elevate you or anchor you. They either fuel your growth or feed your excuses. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, scarcity thinking, and small ambition, it's nearly impossible to break through that ceiling without first changing your environment. Start by paying close attention to how you feel after interaction. Do certain people leave you drained, doubting yourself, or spinning in distraction, or do they challenge you, sharpen you, and push you to level up? This isn't about being judgmental, it's about being intentional. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, not because of some magic formula, but because of exposure. Beliefs are contagious. Energy is contagious. Habits are contagious. Most people hold on to relationships out of history, not alignment. Just because someone has been in your life for years doesn't mean they belong in your future. If someone is constantly negative, complaining, gossiping, or resisting change, that energy rubs off on you whether you notice it or not. Over time, it dulls your drive. It slows your pace. You start negotiating with your goals instead of executing them. You start settling for average because average becomes the norm around you. On the flip side, when you put yourself around high standards, everything shifts. You start thinking bigger, you raise your bar, you stop making excuses because the people around you simply don't tolerate them. They're too focused, too driven, too obsessed with growth. That pressure can feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is where growth lives. You either rise to meet the new standard or you fall away from it. And that tension forces clarity. Auditing your circle doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means categorizing wisely. Some people belong in your inner circle, those who challenge you, support you, and are aligned with your vision. Others may stay in your life, but at a distance. You limit access, not because you're better than them, but because your energy, time, and focus are too valuable to waste. This is about protecting your future, not punishing your past. You also need to actively seek out the people who stretch you. Join rooms where you're not the smartest. Get around people who are operating at a level that makes you uncomfortable. In business, in fitness, in mindset, ask questions. Listen more than you talk. Observe how they think, how they act, how they solve problems. Proximity is power, but only if you're intentional with it. Audit your digital circle too. Who you follow, what content you consume, what conversations you let in. These shape your mental environment. You can't expect to think like a winner if you're constantly feeding your brain with junk, drama, or comparison. Curate what goes into your head with the same discipline you use for your body. Your inputs shape your output.